นี้ก็ช่วยดูโอ้โหเราดูว่าไม่ดีเลยหรอไม่ดูนะไม่ดูเราจะใจดีเนี่ยก็เปิดรับเลยนะโอ้ดูพอจะเดินใจดีเลยนะก็ได้รับ
Hi vagabond travelers, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're gonna talk about my top 10 favorite Thai food. Okay, so Thailand is not only known for their culture and tourist spots. They are also well known because of their dishes, of this Thai dishes, especially Isan foods, street foods, and a lot more. Their food is very popular for its unique, diversible, and flavorful taste. And most of the Thai foods are incredibly spicy. So if you guys love spicy foods, or maybe not, well, not all of their foods are spicy, but most of it, and you feel very thrilled, I'd recommend you a lot of foods. And right now, I'd like to share with you my top 10 favorite Thai food. So Thai dishes, or Ahan Thai, is very famous for its very flavorful, aromatic, and spicy foods. So traditional Thai cuisines falls into some categories, and these are the tom, which mean boiled dishes like tom yum and something else. Also yum means spicy salads, and also tam. Tam is a Thai word for pounded foods, and gang means curries. They also love to eat curries and deep fried foods, and also stir fry, and some of it were originated from Chinese foods. Last 2017, 7 of the Thai dishes appeared in World's Best 50 Foods. It's like an online poll of 35,000 people worldwide by CNN Travel. So, traditional Thai foods are originally eaten using our hands, and usually most of the people were just seated on a carpet, and mostly when they eat, you can see that they are eating a lot of dishes each meal, and they will just sit down on a mat or on the floor and will use their hands and share their foods or eat their foods together. If you have tried to eat on a Thai restaurant, you'll notice that you will be served with a lot of choices of sauces, condiments that usually has chili flakes, fish sauce, limes, or maybe sriracha sauce, and a lot more. So Thai food is not the same all over Thailand. Each food is also different on the places that you're going to. They have their northern Thai dishes, which is very famous, like Isan foods, and I really love it. They also have their central Bangkok food, which is usually can be found just here in Bangkok. And there are wide of flavorful choices around the area, not just this, and also in Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, and other parts of Thailand. There's so much to explore in their cuisines, and every places that you're going to, they have different specialties, different dishes, and as a traveler, I would love to recommend you to try all of those. You will feel their uniqueness of their taste, each and every flavor and aroma. If you experience their food, it's like experiencing the entire culture. So if you go to Thailand or if you volunteer in Thailand, it is also very famous for their street foods or cart foods, food courts, and market like wet markets and a lot more.
เดี๋ยวมีคนช่วยดูลองดูว่าลูกดีของหวานให้ดูนะจะใจดีนะแล้วก็แบบรับเลยนะโอ้ดูเราจะใจดีเลยนะเรารับ5 บาททุกอย่างเลยจ้ะลดเลย
Most of the people here eat at the market. There are a variety of foods, choices of foods to choose, and you can just go and sit down and get some foods into different kiosks and just bring it on your table. You will have like variety of taste, and it's so delightful and it's very fun for me. Usually before the lockdown, before this pandemic, we went to a lot of night markets here and they've kind of enjoyed it a lot. It was so much fun because most of the night markets, it's not just very loud, but it's very fun. There's a lot of music, live bands, a lot of people eating, chit-chatting to each other, and having dinner with your friends, and there are incredibly fun experience. And when you guys go here in Thailand, I would suggest you to try those night markets. So foods here in Thailand are not just very delicious, but also incredibly cheap. Like mulping and a lot more foods. You can just buy and eat a street food for like $1 or less than $1, and you can have your full meal in it for it, or maybe like $2. It depends though, but most of the street foods are just really very cheap. So here is my top 10 favorite Thai foods. Okay, let's start with top 10. My number 10 is Som Tam, or it is also called as Papaya Poke in here. It is an Assam dish that is very well known to the entire Thailand. If you're a foreigner, most of the people will try to eat Som Tam. It is a green papaya salad made up of papaya, yardlong beans, chili, bala or fish sauce, lime, and sometimes they also put some tomatoes in it, and a crab or small shrimps. There are actually plenty of variation of this Som Tam, but the only one that I like is the Thai Som Tam, which is the very plain one without any crabs or shrimp. But you guys can try it if you love seafoods, because I really don't love seafoods that much. That's why I just like the plain one. And it is incredibly spicy. When you guys try to buy it, you can tell the seller not to make it too spicy. You can just tell them that you want it to be a little bit spicy, but it's still gonna be spicy for sure. Or maybe if you cannot tolerate that much, you can just tell them not to put any chilies on it, or you can say my outpet naka, or my outpet nakap. That is how they say it in their language, which just means I don't like spicy, or I don't want spicy. So here is my top 9. Okay, so my number 9 favorite food here in Thailand is Pad Thai. Pad Thai are stir-fried flat noodles, is commonly served as a street food. It is one of the most delicious Thai meal here in Thailand. It is commonly served in street foods and restaurants here. It is usually made up of stir-fried flat rice noodles with chicken, pork, beef, or tofu according to your choice, and with some bean sprout and nuts, scrambled egg, and some vegetables. So each ingredients are sauteed in a wok, which made all of them mixed very well. Once the dish is ready, they toasted it with a pad thai sauce, which give a dish a very flavorful, a little bit salty, tangy, and a little bit taste of sweet. So its main ingredients are rice noodles, eggs, tofu, tamarind juice, palm sugar or just the ordinary sugar, fish sauce, fresh shrimps, and I think dried shrimps will do. Also bean sprout, garlic or shallots, red chili pepper, lime, and peanut. Top 8. Okay, so my top 8 is green curry, or they call it gangkewan. I don't know if I pronounce it properly. I don't think so because of my accent, or I don't know. Gangkewan. It is also a sweet green curry. It is usually made up of chicken, coconut milk, Korean curry paste, palm sugar, a little bit of fish sauce, lime leaves, and Thai basil, and some of them also put some eggplants in it, and it's very delicious. So this is how we cook the gangkewan, or the green curry. So the name of the dish derives from its color. Green curry means the color of the dish, which is color green, literally. And one means, in K1, one means sweet. It's a one in Thai language means sweet. So it is literally translated as a sweet green, because the taste, you can usually taste it's sweet. So gangkewan is usually best served with a plain white rice, or most of the Thai people prefer it with kanumjin, which is a white rice noodles, or also can be served with roti. But for me, I prefer it with white rice. Top 7. So my top 7 favorite Thai food is yam nua, or Thai spicy beef salad. One of my most favorite salad is this one, because the very mouthful, flavorful, the sourness, taste of lime, and the tenderness of the beef, and of course the freshness and crisp of the vegetables are just so perfect for me. And if you're both meat and vegetable lover, you're gonna love this a lot. Its taste is bursting with aromatic flavor of garlic, lemongrass, lime, and some spicy chilies. They also put a little bit of fish sauce so to make the flavor balance, and it's so good for me. So my top 6 favorite food is Teow. It is a noodle soup. It can also have pork, beef, or chicken, it's up to you. And it's actually originally came from China, or it is influenced by Chinese dishes here. But it is very famous into the entire Thailand. The staple food here in Thailand is rice and noodles. And it is very famous here because of its very delightful taste, and you can find it in most of the markets and restaurants around Bangkok and certain areas in Thailand. And there is also a lot of noodles in your own choice to decide which one would you like to put in your Kway Teow. From the history, Kway Teow is actually brought to Thailand by a Chinese merchant in Ayutthaya era. The Thai people adjusted the taste into their own, because they have their own specific taste, which is a little bit sweet and spicy. Unlike Chinese, for Chinese food, they don't like it to be too sweet, but here in Thailand, most of the food have sugar and fish sauce. Here's to my top 5. Okay, so my top 5 favorite Thai food is actually a dessert. It is called Thai pandan custard or Khanom Pang Sangkaya in Thai language. It is made up of pandan leaves, some coconut milk, eggs, powdered sugar, cornstarch, and coconut oil. Also some salt and some burns. You can usually find this as a street food along the area, and there's not just this, but they also got a lot of flavor. It's also very cheap, and I love it because for me it's very creamy, and I love the smell of pandan when it's mixed together with coconut milk. It's so delicious, and it's one of my favorite desserts because Thai usually love desserts, and they have loads of sweets, but I don't really like sweets that much. I mean, their desserts that much. Personally, I don't like their desserts that much, except for this one. For me, it's so delicious. Like, it's mouth-watering, and I love it so much. And together with toasted bread or steamed bread, they mixed the pandan custard as a sauce and put it on the top of a very hot new steamed bread. It's so delicious, it's so tasty. I would love to recommend all of you this, guys. So my top 4, or my 4th favorite Thai food is roti saimai, or it is, I don't know how it is called in English, but it is a roti with a cotton candy floss. It is originally from Ayutthaya, part of Thailand, Ayutthaya province, and it is very famous in here in Thailand, and you should try it, should give it a try, because it is also a dessert which you'll have to wrap. You'll have a fresh roti, and then you're gonna have to wrap a floss, a colorful cotton candy floss in it, and you gotta roll it by your own, and you gotta eat it. And for me, I think it's so fun to do it, and it's also very tasty. I don't know, but for me, it kind of has some peanut taste. If you love peanuts, because I love peanuts and peanut butters a lot, so I kind of love it, though I don't want to put a lot of cotton candy floss inside of the roti. It seems like when you eat it, the roti outside is very chewy and so smooth, soft, and inside it's like a hair that is melting in your mouth. And for me, it's like a fun food experience. A hair, a green hair, and a brown hair. And it looks like a spring rolls wrapper with a pandan flavor, and then put it up here and roll. And you already have your saimai and aroy jing jing. So here's my top 4. My top 4 favorite Thai food is called yam wonsen, or a glass noodle. I just really love how the plain glass noodle absorbs the sourness, the little bit of saltiness, and the aromatic flavor and taste of the sauce. For me, it's my top 4. I choose it as a top 4th because for me, the taste, it never make me feel bored at all, and I just love to eat it. You can eat it with different kind of noodles actually, but I'll recommend you to have the glass noodles because it doesn't make you feel really full so fast, and it doesn't make me feel bored in eating it at all. And I love how the mixture of its aroma, sourness, spiciness, it's just so perfect. And also there's this nutty and crunchy taste of some, because they also put some vegetables in it like fresh cabbage, onions, and I love how they're mixed together and how you when it goes in your mouth, I can feel like it's so tasty, and it's like bursting with all the flavors in one spoon. Here is my top 2 favorite Thai food. So for my top 2, it's like my comfort food. It is tom zap, or in English it is pork rib spicy and sour soup. I love this soup a lot because like the pork rib, it's so soft and tender. It's like watering, melting in your mouth when you eat it, and it's super duper spicy. And I love the complexity of the ingredients, the herbs, the spiciness, and all of the flavors, because I love spicy food so much. I'm a huge fan of spicy foods, and I like how they are being combined in a soup, and how sour it is. And when it is being served so hot, it will make you feel very nice. And for me, it gives me so much comfort, and it's very tasty. I love how flavorful it is and everything. It's like my favorite soup ever. So if you love spicy foods and spicy soup, or I don't know, things like I do, I'd highly recommend you to try tom zap. It is actually an Isan food, or northern Thai dish. It is also famous here in Bangkok, and some of them prefer it. It's a little bit mixture of tom yum, but it's really not. Some of the ingredients are not the same, but it's kind of have the same taste with tom yum. But I like it more because it's like simpler than tom yum. So tom in Thai language means soup, and zap is actually originally from Lao, word means yummy. So tom zap is actually a yummy soup. I actually tried cooking it by my own. I just made a search on YouTube and how to make it, and it turns out it was so tasty. But you guys can try it at home. So I'd like to share to you the ingredients just in case you love it. I just used some galanga, chili, pork short ribs. You can also put some coriander in it, and it's very tasty and so delightful in the mouth. So my top 1 favorite Thai food is pad krapao, musap, and mukrop. So in English, it is stir-fried holy basil with ground pork, musap. And I also like the taste of mukrop, which is crispy pork. I equally love both together, and when the first time I went here in Thailand, I've tasted it, I feel like, oh my goodness, where did I get this food? Like, I love to have this food forever. I love it so much, and I've learned how to cook it, and I love it so much. I love how spicy it is. I love the smell of basil and the ingredients. I love all of it, and I'd recommend you guys to try it when you go to Bangkok or to any place in Thailand. Please never ever go to Thailand without trying this food. And pasadaipat means stir fried, krapao means holy basil, and mu, or actually there are lots of varieties. You can choose, it depends on you what kind of meat do you want. It can be seafood if you want it, but krapao, gong means shrimp, or you can choose any kinds, or if you want a chicken, but for me, I'll recommend you guys to try minced pork, or either minced pork or crispy pork, which is mukrop and musap. I love it so much, and it is very famous everywhere here in Thailand. You can give it a try, and it doesn't cost that much. Usually they paired it with a white rice and a sunny side up egg, and it's so tasty. I love it, and it's so delightful. It gives you just perfect how spicy it is. But if you really cannot tolerate spicy that much, you can try to tell them not to put any chilies in it. It will still be okay if you just want to try it without any chilies, but I think it's not gonna be perfect, because for me, chili is the way they put chili made the food perfect in pad krapao. And it is made up of Thai holy basil, meat, our seafood, garlic, Thai fish sauce, and a little bit of sugar. And they just stir fry it and done with a high fire. And it is very tasty for me, and it's so perfect to taste. Like, I love it so much. You guys should really try this food. And for me, this is my top one because I'd love to eat it each time. I never get bored of this food, and I highly recommend this for you guys. So that is my top 10 favorite Thai foods, and I hope you guys love this video. So if you like this video, please don't forget to hit the like button, comment down. I really love to hear what's on your mind, guys. And if you haven't subscribed to me yet, please click the subscribe button and hit the notification button too, so we'll keep you on the loop. And I can't wait to show you guys around Thailand and to share to you new and amazing experiences here, foods, variety of foods, culture, and a lot more things. So see you on the road!